Can you introduce yourself?
Certainly. Hello, my name is Phillip. I'm a junior psychology pre-med major here at the University of Tulsa, which is in the great state of Oklahoma.
Great. And when and where did you study abroad?
So I studied abroad last spring 2016, at the University of Auckland, which is in Auckland, New Zealand. So right over there, that small country off the coast or near Australia.
Nice. And why did you decide to study abroad?
So I decided to study abroad mainly because I knew that it would get me out there in the world and get new cultural perspectives, get me more open-minded and independent. And plus I know that the academic standards of foreign universities, especially the ones in New Zealand, the UK, just really all over, especially in Asia, they're really prestigious. So not only are American universities prestigious, but there's plenty of prestigious universities abroad. So I knew that if I were to go abroad, I'd want to go to a prestigious university. And I know just off the top of my head that the University of Auckland is the #1 ranked university in New Zealand. So I was excited to not only get cultural experience, but also get great academic experience as well.
Great. So what are some of the things that you did in country? So what were some of the activities and shadowing? Explain that a little bit.
So first of all, I would say let's just focus on the entertainment side. I did a lot of, since New Zealand's really a place for outdoorsmen, outdoor people that like the outdoors, there's a lot of activities you can do in terms of hiking, backpacking, kayaking, pretty much anything that you like outdoors. So I did a lot of that whenever I had time. Me and a group of friends, it consisted of American students and people from New Zealand. We would get together and we would go on hiking trips, or we would go outside the city and go do something out there, kayaking trips. And so that was a lot of fun. The city itself was great. Auckland's very lively, and there's always something to do, whether it's going sailing, just going to the city and enjoying the nightlife. The campus itself at the University of Auckland is very nice as well. It's a large campus, I think about 35 to 40,000 total students there. And it's pretty much in the city, so it's basically a downtown university. And they have a lot of public transit. It's easy to get around, centrally located, so that was nice. And then one great opportunity that I was able to partake in was that I shadowed physicians there, doctors, at certain hospitals in New Zealand, which I've done here in the US as well. But the thing about New Zealand is that they have a different kind of healthcare system, so it's like socialized medicine. It's a bit different from what we have here. So, the doctors have their own opinions about it, and so do the citizens there, because usually healthcare is free for them, as opposed to here in America. So that was very interesting, seeing how their system works differently, just the little inner workings of the hospital and how the staff relate with their patients. It was very interesting, and I'm glad I got that opportunity. Establish some connections, so maybe in the future I can use some of those physicians that I shadowed as recommenders when I apply to medical school. So there's all sorts of opportunities that you can take advantage of when you're abroad, not just the studying part of studying abroad, but also the work, something to further your career, so internships, research, and then of course cultural experience.
Nice. And were finances a concern for you? And if they were, how did you afford to study abroad?
So I'm lucky because the University of Tulsa is very generous with scholarship, and they also have policies in place that let you transfer your scholarship that you're earning here at TU abroad. So since I'm already earning a lot of scholarship here at Tulsa because of their generosity, academic scholarship, that academic scholarship was able to transfer over to New Zealand. So basically I was paying the same price that I normally pay here, and I was paying it to go study abroad, which was a pretty great deal. So I could have applied for additional scholarships if I had wanted to, but I figured that I was pretty much good, set to go. I didn't have too much financial hardship to worry about. So I was good, and you just pay for the airfare to get over there, and then pay for any additional personal excursions that you might want to do. But overall, there's scholarships out there for everyone. You can apply to scholarships through your university, or maybe national scholarships like the Gilman Scholarship, all of that. So there's money out there to be had, so don't let finances be the obstacle that keeps you from going abroad.
Good advice. And can you tell us if while you were abroad, if you experienced any discrimination, or did you feel as though you were treated any differently because of how you identify?
So I do identify as Mexican because I am Mexican Hispanic, but I'm also American, so usually that came up first, the American part. Whenever I would introduce myself to local New Zealanders, they would, ask me about my American side because that's the side that's more popular, I suppose. And, because New Zealand's really, they get a lot of their popular culture from America, surprisingly. So whenever I did identify as American, they were curious. They would ask me things, and they noticed, and I do have a little bit of a darker complexion than some of the Caucasian citizens of America. But I didn't really feel discrimination. It's probably because New Zealand is in the place where it is. New Zealand has a vast Pacific Islander influence, and they have a lot of influence from Asia and Europe, all over the place. So there's a very diverse crowd, and I'm sure the citizens there are used to meeting different people, and they're probably very open-minded. At least it seemed that way to me. So no, luckily I did not experience very much discrimination. It was a great experience, and I was happy to see everyone living in harmony there, just trying to get an education and trying to experience the unique culture there.
That's great to hear. If you were to give advice to a student who is a little bit hesitant about going abroad, maybe they have the same identities as you, what advice would you give to that student?
I would say that sometimes it is good to get out of your comfort zone. I know that sometimes it's a bit unnerving, and maybe you might be a bit nervous about the prospect of going somewhere foreign that you're not too familiar with. But just know that there are resources out there. You're never really going to be in danger. You can be in contact with your university, you can be in contact with peers, and there's also resources over there in the country to help you. So as long as you stay safe, then you can focus on the other side where you actually want to get a meaningful experience. So meet people, establish friendships and relationships, experience the culture, and maybe even pick up another language. And then also, of course, study hard and really just try to focus on the positive things, because that's what you want to take away from your study abroad experience overall. So I would just say, just get out there, be a little brave, and it can be done for sure.
Great, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.